भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Canto 10, Chapter 8, text number 30. The chapter entitled Lord Krishna Shows the Universal Form. हस्ताग्राहे रचयति विधिं पिट्ठकोलुखलाद्यैष। छिद्रं यन्तर्निहितवयुना शिक्य भाण्डेषु तद्वेत्। ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वङ्गम् अर्थप्रदीपम्। काले गोप्यो यर्हि गृहकृत्येषु सूर्यगचित्ता। हस्ताग्राहे रचयति विधिं पिट्ठकोलुखलाद्यैष। छिद्रं यन्तर्निहितवयुना शिक्य भाण्डेषु तद्वेत्। ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वाङ्गम् अर्थप्रदीपम्। काले गोप्यो यर्हि गृहकृत्येषु सुव्यर्गचित्ता। हस्ताग्राहे रचयति विधिं पिट्ठकोलुखलाद्यैष। छिद्रं यन्तर्निहितवयुना शिक्य भाण्डेषु तद्वेत्। ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वाङ्गम् अर्थप्रदीपम्। काले गोप्यो यर्हि गृहकृत्येषु सुव्यग्रचित्ता। छिद्रमयन्तर्हितवयुना शिक्य भाण्डेषु तद्वेत्। ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वाङ्गम् अर्थप्रदीपम्। काले गोप्यो यर्हि गृहकृत्येषु सुव्यग्रचित्ता। हस्ताग्राहे रचयति विधिं पिट्ठकोलुखलाद्यैष। छिद्रं यन्तर्निहितवयुना शिक्य भाण्डेषु तद्वेत्। ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वाङ्गम् अर्थप्रदीपम्। काले गोप्यो यर्हि गृहकृत्येषु सुव्यग्रचित्ता। माताजी, हस्ताग्राहे रचयति विधिं पिट्ठकोलुखलाद्यैष। छिद्रं यन्तर्निहितवयुना शिक्य भाण्डेषु तद्वेत्। ध्वान्तागारे धृतमणिगणं स्वाङ्गम् अर्थप्रदीपम्। Kale gopyo yarehi griha krityeshu suvyagrachitta. Word to word meaning. Hastagraye. When the destination is out of the reach of his hands. Rachayati. He arranges to make with him a means. Pitthaka. By wooden planks piled together. Ullukhala adhye. And by overturning the stone mortar for grinding spices. Chidram, a hole. He, indeed. Antanihita, about the content of the pot. Vayuna, with such knowledge. Shikya, hanging by a swing. Bhandeshu, in the pots. Tatvit, expert in that knowledge or in full knowledge. Dvantagare, in a very dark room. Dhritamani Ganam, because of being decorated with valuable jewels. Swangam, his own body. Artha Pradipam is the light required for seeing in darkness. Kale, after that, in due course of time. Gopya, the elderly gopis. Yarhi, as soon as. Griha Krityeshu, in discharging household affairs. Suvyagrachita, are busily engaged. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When the milk and curd are kept high on a swing hanging from the ceiling and Krishna and Balram cannot reach it, they arrange to reach it by piling up various planks and turning upside down the mortar for grinding spices. Being quite aware of the content of a pot, they pick holes in it. While the elderly gopis go about their household affairs, Krishna and Balram sometimes go into a dark room, brightening the place with the valuable jewels and ornaments on their bodies, and taking advantage of this light by stealing. Purport. Formerly in every household, yogurt and butter were kept for use in emergencies. But Krishna and Balram would pile up planks so that they could reach the pots and would then pick holes in the pots with their hands so that the contents would leak out and they could drink it. This was another means for stealing butter and milk. When the butter and milk were kept in a dark room, Krishna and Balram would go there and make the place bright with the valuable jewels on their bodies. On the whole, Krishna and Balram engaged in stealing butter and milk from the neighborhood houses in many ways. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Vidupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tvapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Before starting to speak something on this, I'd like to seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas that I can speak something meaningful for my own purification. Hare Krishna. So here Prabhupada is speaking about the yogurt and butter. He says that yogurt and butter were kept for use in emergencies. So he was finding yogurt and butter more valuable than the jewels, because Krishna was wearing the jewels, a small little child wearing the jewels and going. So Nand Maharaj was not much giving importance to the value of jewels, but he was giving importance to the yogurt and butter, which were the milk product. So Prabhupada says that milk is very important actually. Prabhupada says it nourishes the brain, it develops the brain, finer brain tissues, which helps in spiritual knowledge. So thus the milk products and milk itself are very important. And Srila Prabhupada recommended that every child should have at least 1 pound of milk every day. So that is couple of glasses of milk every day. But nowadays if you see the kids, they don't like milk. Mothers have to force them to drink milk. They have to carry the milk glass and run around them to make them drink milk. But about Pepsis and Sprite and Coke, they love to have that. So that is what the modern civilization has done to our kids. And it also, the false propaganda is done around the world about there is one faith named vegan, which says that cow's milk is meant for the calf. We should not drink the milk. So whoever are followers of vegan, they don't drink milk. So they say that it's meant for calf. But poor little calf, how much milk he can drink actually? Because a healthy cow can give at least 20 to 25 liters of milk a day. And that calf can drink not more than a liter or two. So rest of the milk is there in the udder of the cow, which is to be utilized, and that is meant for the human beings. That is how nature has made the cow like that milk should be utilized by human beings. There's one naturopathy doctor, I went to that doctor. They also say that we should not drink milk. The logic they give that if you see any other species other than human being, they don't drink the milk of other species. Only the human being which drinks the milk of the other species. So this false propaganda they do, actually milk is required for especially a vegetarian, because it gives the protein and the calcium which is required for the body. So that is how Prabhupada always mentions the importance of milk products and milk. And here in the translation, there is said that Krishna Balram would pile up the planks and then climb on it to reach the pot. So is Krishna requires this climbing on the planks? He's all powerful. He can reach, and he can just few feet of height. He doesn't require any planks. but he is utilizing that wooden planks, that good for nothing wooden planks in his service. He is making that wooden plank fortunate to serve Krishna. Actually, that is Guru's job. Guru also does that. Nityanand Prabhu, Radharani, the Guru Tattva, they all actually helps the devotees to serve Krishna. They utilizes the devotees and the things in Krishna's service. That's what Prabhupada recommend, Yukta Vairagya. Whatever is there can be utilized in Krishna's service. Actually, see, wooden planks are of no use, but this way Krishna is using them to climb on it and reaching the pot. So similarly, Guru also, sometimes we see many devotees who are in one sense good for nothing, like me. But he utilizes them in Krishna's service. Guru sees some potency in that particular disciple and he utilizes that potency in Krishna's service. So Krishna is so merciful, he is using the wooden planks in his service. He is Trivikram. He doesn't require this. He can climb up any time and just come onto the pots. But he utilizes that wooden planks in the service, in his service. Actually, during Srila Prabhupada's time, in the early days of ISKCON, when there were hardly few devotees, 4 or 5 devotees were coming to the class of Prabhupada that time. That time Prabhupada was giving class and one drunkard came. He sat there for a while and just stood up, went out and again came, went to the bathroom and went away. Prabhupada just saw that. And afterwards, so he said, what did he do? He came. So one of the disciples said that Swamiji, he came, he went to the bathroom, he put the toilet paper in the bathroom and went away. So Prabhupada said that is devotional service. See, he is performing devotional service. So Guru can see that little gesture of that drunkard to give something. That water paper he just kept in the bathroom for the utility of the devotees. So that Guru sees that much service is done. And utility is the principle, Prabhupada always used to say. So similarly, Krishna is also utilizing these wooden planks here. And in the Vedic lifestyle, if you see, there were certain things which were used for multi-purpose. But in the modern day, there are specific jobs for specific things. You don't utilize the thing. But if you go to villages, you cannot imagine certain things which they utilize for some other purposes. Because in the modern urban society, actually the man is being utilized like that. He is multitasking. But over there, the product is utilized for multi-purpose use in Vedic lifestyle. And again in the purport, it's written Bhandeshu Tatvit. Bhandeshu Tatvit means all knowable, or he knows everything. So Krishna is not only knowing what is there in the pot. Krishna is all knowable. He is Satchidananda. He is Chit. He knows everything. He knows what is there in your heart. Not only what is there in the pot, he knows everything what is there in your heart. Krishna is all knowable. Krishna is as a Paramatma, he is sitting in everybody's heart. He is knowing what is there. And we have a limited capacity. We know of our own self, but he knows everything and everybody. He is Tadvit. Okay, and Srila Prabhupada explains about the jewels. And jewels here, in the sloka it is written that jewels are brightening the place, that valuable jewels are brightening the place which Krishna is using for stilling. He is brightening the place with the jewel. So does this jewel have its own illumination? No, jewel doesn't have any illumination. If you see down the corner there are many jewelers. But if you see in that place also, that on the display there are jewels, but for that display they need so many lights to come on that jewel that reflects back. So jewel can reflect back many hundreds of times or thousands of times more the light, but jewel doesn't have its own illumination. So here The jewel, what the jewel is reflecting is actually the effulgence of the Lord Himself. He doesn't require actually, here also He is utilizing that jewel in His service. He doesn't require any illumination because His dham, even His dham is self-illuminated. Natat bhashyate surya na shashanko na pavaka. It doesn't require surya, shashank or pavaka. It's self-illuminating. He Himself is so effulgent, He doesn't require any illumination. He is utilizing that jewel in His service. That jewel is reflecting the effulgence of the Lord. If you go to the parties also, the woman wears the jewelry, but if it's in dark, it doesn't that doesn't reflect any. In the parties also, therefore, they use so many lights just to show off their jewelries. That's it. So that is. And once one Prabhuji, I don't know his name, he came just last month only. He was giving the lecture. He said when somebody garlanded him, he commented that whenever Radhanath Maharaj has been garlanded, he immediately removes his garland and keep it because it doesn't require the garland. He himself is so effulgent that garland is not required because but that Prabhuji said, I require the garland. I'll give that garland on. He said. So that Krishna's body also, the jewel looks beautiful. Krishna doesn't look beautiful by jewel. He is himself so beautiful. The jewel looks beautiful on Krishna's body. And Prabhupada says about the stilling. He says that Krishna and Balram are stilling at different householders in Vrindavan. So he is calling him a thief. So is he a thief? Is Krishna a thief? People like to tell Krishna thief because they have that themselves have that stealing propensity. So in that they want to justify that stealing propensity, they call him thief. He is not a thief. He is Bhoktaram. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasa Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Everything is owned by him. Why he needs to steal? When somebody is the owner and he utilizes his own thing, you cannot tell him a thief. In fact, we are the thieves. We are utilizing his product. We should actually offer him and utilizes that as a prasad. But we are not doing that. We are utilizing everything as we are trying to control everything. As in Ishopanishad he said, Isha Vashyam idam sarvam yatikincha jagatam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grida kashyat svidatanam. So he is the owner and the controller of everything which animates or inanimates within this universe. He is the owner and the controller. One can be the owner in this material world. One can be the owner but cannot be the controller. Or either one can be a controller but cannot be the owner. But he can control also, he can own also and control also. As the example can be given as not now but maybe some years back, America can control the whole world. America used to control the whole world, but he cannot own the whole world. And in Bombay, if you see these landlords, they might be owning the land, but they are not the controller. They cannot control. They don't have the possession of their houses only. They are just the namesake, they are the owners. But the Krishna is owner and the controller. Actually, Prabhupada on one of the lectures of this Ishavashyam, he actually asked his disciple that why living entity is superior to the matter. And many devotees were sitting, they gave different answers. Some said that it's living entity is a part and parcel. So Prabhupada said, yeah, so matter is also separated part and parcel. It is also a part and parcel. Some say that it's conscious, some say that it is eternal, living entity is eternal and this and that. But Prabhupada say that why it is superior? Because it can control the matter. Living entity can control the matter. That is what makes him superior to the matter. So that is how Krishna is the supreme controller. He can control everything. So we have to accept whatever is given by him as a prasad, and we should just utilize the basic necessity, whatever is there for, that is what is Ishavashyam concept. Whatever is there for our quota, whatever is allotted, just accept it as the prasad of the Lord. Actually, that is why Prabhupada recommended simple living and high thinking. Simple living and high thinking. There is a saying by William Wordsworth. He was a nature lover. He is a poet who said this: simple living and high thinking. He was a nature lover, but Prabhupada was a lover of the nature's controller and nature's owner. He said simple living and high thinking. So what actually is simplicity? Simplicity, according to Sridhar Swami, simplicity means swachhata, pure in consciousness. That is simplicity. One has to be pure, which is actually the nature of the soul, the purity. So one has to be pure to be simple. The soul which is covered by the conditioned matter, which is making it contaminated, and that is why we are not able to be simple. When that conditioning is gone, then you will come to the simple state. When child takes birth, he is simple. We always give the phrase that it's childlike simplicity, like what Prabhupada was having, that childlike simplicity. Child is always simple, but when he comes in contact with this material world, and slowly and gradually that conditioning comes on it, and then it becomes like us. When we come to this material world, we are pure. But so similarly, when we have to go out of this material world, we have to be pure. So this conditioning has to be purified. That is real simplicity. When this conditioning is purified, when you become simple, then only you will become eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. So we have to endeavor to simplify ourselves. And another meaning of word simplicity is no duplicity, straightforwardness. One has to be straightforward. Like one can reveal the secret to his enemy, Prabhupada says. One who is simple, who can reveal the secret also to his enemy. That how simple one has to be. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also said that Saralta is the first qualification for a Vaishnava. Simplicity is the first qualification for a Vaishnava, and one who is duplicit or cunning in behavior is actually an offense against the principle of devotional service. That's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has said. But modern so-called civilization has actually snatched away that simplicity from us. They call this simplicity, sometimes they say that simple life means primitive life. But it's not so. Actually, people have the understanding that simple life means poverty-stricken life. But simple life doesn't mean poverty-stricken. If you see Nanda Maharaj, he was a simple devotees from Vraja. They are all simple. Nanda Maharaj was very simple, but he was having 900,000 cows. So it was not that he was very rich. He was a king, but he was simple. Similarly, Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Bhaktivedanta Thakur also, he was living very simple life. He was a simple Vaishnava, but he was simultaneously he was the magistrate in the Indian government. But still, he was able to live that simple life. That's why Bhaktivedanta Thakur recommends that we have to balance our material and spiritual needs. We have to balance both needs, material and spiritual, but we have to favor the later. He said we have to favor the spiritual needs. He said. And Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, Narad Muni, actually, he recommends this type of life only. He tells to Maharaj Yudhishthir that an intelligent man in human society should make his program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, anyone else, he should externally agree saying, yes, that is all right. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. So there will be suggestions from friends or the relatives or that you live like this, or you say you utilize this and that, but you should know that what is the real purpose of this human form of life. You can just to satisfy him or just to make him happy, you can say yes, yes, but internally you should know that what you have to do. The artificial material life is a gift from West actually. This what we have got is the gift which we have got from the Western world. Otherwise, if you see in the Vedic lifestyle, the people were so simple. And I think 50, 60 years back also, if you see the villages, the people were so simple. They were not having, but nowadays if you go in the villages also, there are TV and this and that, and there are so many channels and this. People are doing so many, facilities have also reached there. So-called facilities. Actually, it is a disfacility for the devotional service. But this simple... Actually, we went for the this book launch in Ahmedabad, where Narendra Modi, the Chief Minister of Gujarat, had come. He actually gave some speech on that occasion. He said that he actually glorified the Indian culture. He was glorifying India and Indian culture. And he said that the Western culture is eating, drinking, and eat, drink, and be merry. And Indian culture is tena tyaktena bhunjita, he said. So that is Indian culture. So one has to utilize what is required for his own self, and knowing well that whom it belongs to. That is tena tyaktena bhunjita. And he also said once that what we are doing now with these modern facilities and other things, we are just exploiting the Mother Earth like anything. We are just in torturing actually. We are just abusing her. If you see, if it is mining and extracting the petrol and oil and everything, we are just drilling. She is mother. Actually, we have actually made that Bhumi Devi into a piece of land. Actually, Narendra Modi on that occasion, he actually spoke that till the time Mother Ganges, the water of Ganges was been worshipped as Mother Ganges, it was clean. But when we thought it to be a H2O, it became a sewage in Delhi. So till the time we were seeing this Bhumi Devi as the mother, we were taking care of that Bhumi Devi, and Bhumi Devi was in fact giving so much that it was more than sufficient for so much of population. But nowadays that scarcity is because we have abused that Mother Earth. I was telling about this mining and extracting the petrol, we are drilling inside. We are going hundreds of foot inside that Mother Earth, and we are just abusing that Mother Earth. So she retaliates. Whatever you do, she has to retaliate. How much she can, she is tolerating, but how much she can tolerate? She is retaliating by these tsunamis and earthquakes. She is crying out that tsunamis are tears. She is crying out. She is retaliating. So simple life, which is the real need for an hour actually, but there's so much propaganda and so much advertisement is done for all this. If you see, we have made our lives everything in eating, sleeping, defending, whatever. If you see, we have so much complicated our life that just in this January and in the winter, our neighbors were putting on AC. When it was so cold, they were putting on AC. I asked him, why you are putting on this AC in this winter? It is so cold, then also you are putting. Because he said, if I keep the windows open, or the temperature goes on increasing and decreasing sometimes. In the night it decreases, and to get that controlled temperature, they put on the AC. So that is that is how that in the condition which are favorable, that's January month, we can easily sleep with the nice, we can blanket, we can sleep. But that also, they want the controlled temperature. So that is what we have made our life so miserable. We cannot live without the technology. We cannot live without these appliances. The necessities of the life has now become the luxury, and luxury of the lives have become the necessity. 20 years back, these mobile phones, 10 years, only 18, 20 years back when mobile phone came, it was a luxury. And now it's become a necessity. The air condition 30 years back, it was a luxury. Now it's a necessity. And on the other hand, the pure air has become a luxury now. We have to spend so much to get that pure air. We have to go to the hill station, stay in the eco-friendly hotels, which is costing more than the regular hotels. So that is what we are made. So one has to live a simple life. Actually, simple life will not lead you to Krishna consciousness, but it gives the platform for Krishna consciousness. In the simple life, you can perform your devotional service better. In the villages, they used to work 3-4 months a year, and rest of the time they used to do Hari Bhajan. That was the Vedic life. Only 3-4 months they have to work hard. They were working hard, but the rest of the time they were doing Hari Bhajan. That is what actually the purpose of this life is, to spend more time for the spiritual needs and less time for the material needs. But we are doing the topsy-turvy, the other way around. That is what is. So simple life gives us the platform. The simple life itself cannot lead us to Krishna consciousness, but it gives us the platform of Krishna consciousness. Because if you see, if you go out, stay in Vada for 8 days, there's a simple life over there. You can chant more properly, you can hear more properly. But here there is so much disturbances. If you sit in the temple also, the vibration outside gives us so much, there's so much anxiety. Now it's 9:15, now we have to go for our jobs, we have to run, so much. So we are so anxiety, that anxiety is the gift of the urban life. I read one, yesterday only I was coming from the airport, I just left somebody, I read on the Mahim church, there was a board, it was written on that, everyone is self-centered, only the radius differs. So actually everybody is self-centered, it says, but only the radius differs. So we have to increase that radius. We have to not be self-centered on ourselves only, but we have to increase that radius. That means that we have to think about the society at large, the community at large, not for our own self. We have to not be self-centered. We have to see that what we are giving to our future children. If you utilizes this, the nature like this, what we are exploiting and abusing it like this, what will be after 50 years for our children's and grandchildren's? It will be worse. The situation which is from 50 years, yesterday 50 years, and now what has happened, it will be worse after 50 years. So we have to be responsible for that. We as a responsible parent or a responsible citizen, we have to utilize our, whatever resources are there, we have to utilize it responsibly, that it does not, for our children's and grandchildren's, we leave something proper for them. Because if we utilize it like that, maybe after maybe they say right now also that after 50-70 years there won't be any petrol. So that is what it will be. If you have to, whatever resources the Mother is giving, Mother Earth is giving, we have to utilize it properly. The modern lifestyle actually taught us more ways of sense gratification. The more ways of sense gratification, and ultimate result was over-endeavoring. Over-endeavoring, and which hindrance in the path of devotional service. In the nectar of instruction, the over-endeavoring is a hindrance on the path of devotional service. So we have to see that we don't over-endeavor. as what Ishavashyam concept also teaches, that we have to just utilize the basic necessity from this Mother Earth, what has given us, and be satisfied with what we have. Okay, I'll end this class here. Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much for tolerating.